All right, hello everybody, and welcome to our NBA Pick Show here, WNBA Pick Show here, guys, for Tuesday, May the 20th. We got a couple of games in the WNBA, and we've seen a go around with all these teams here so far, and brought along Ron Crawford, of course, and Solo Malone joining us for this one as well. Solo, what's your takeaways here so far in the start of the season?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We came out the gate firing. I want to say I've probably taken around 8 to 10 games. Had a sweep the first day, dropped a couple the second day. I think we got back on track yesterday. Kind of like the card going into tomorrow's game. So, I'm ready to fire. Let's get to it.
And Ron, we saw our games on Sunday there. Anything of note?
Yeah, I think we called those ones correct. I'm sitting at 4-2 right now. Dropped the total on that Lynx game, man. They snuck over the total on me, but easy win with the Lynx. We knew that was coming. They are a team to be reckoned with, and they are on a mission. Just like I said, watch out for that team. Kind of surprised what's the Mystics doing though, but we're going to talk about them here in a little bit too. So let's get ready.
Let's get it going. We'll do it in rotation order here. So we'll start with Las Vegas here on the road against Connecticut. Both teams are 0-1 straight up and against the spread. Of course, Vegas lost to New York in a bit surprising fashion there, 92-78. They got back in that game, Solo, and then pulled away, did the Liberty from the Aces. And for Connecticut here, they took a surprise loss to Washington in that game. Washington played pretty well there in that one, but still in the end there was 90-85 in that contest. A little bit of a comeback there certainly, but what do you have here in this one with Las Vegas? A 12-point favorite on the road here in this one. Look, Vegas was kind of struggling there against the number two a little bit down the stretch last season. Have the league close the gap, or can we count on them to lay double digits here?
No, not me, myself, and I'm going to stay away from the Aces. I tried to get on board the other day and ride with them versus Liberty, learn my lesson. But the game kind of told me a lot of things. When I looked at the game, I saw Jewel Lloyd. She looks old. I feel like I see a little I don't want to say bickering because, it takes time to figure things out. But Jewel Lloyd is kind of ball dominant, and then you have Chelsea Gray. She's ball dominant. So I think this is going to take a little time to figure this out. And then you got Asia Wilson, who obviously wants the damn ball at will. So, they're going to have a couple problems. Becky Hammond not Becky Hammond. This defense is kind of it's kind of concerning. They gave up a lot of points, and they kind of play at a slower pace. So when they get into this matchup with Connecticut, who, they're young, and I think Morrow from LSU, I think she's going to play in this one. This is a huge number. I think the Sun is just going to get up and down, find a way to sneak in the back door. We also might see some points, but I feel more comfortable taking the 12.5 with the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, Ron, Connecticut actually, came and took the lead there in that game against Washington, and then the Mystics kind of got back on them a little bit. So it was close there in the end, and really the spread came down in the final moments.
Yeah, it did. I thought we were going to get that back door for sure. Washington, they're surprising me, just like I said, taking Atlanta and Connecticut. But the thing about Connecticut, I think Solo is talking about, that's just a rebuilding in process. Stephanie White's gone over to Indiana, the coach of that team. They're going to be fantastic. We'll talk about them here in a bit too. But yeah, Jewel Lloyd, that's not the Jewel Lloyd that I've seen play for Seattle. So that was kind of odd. And maybe it is sharing, ball sharing, like Solo said. But I'm going to lean to the under. And I think that definitely we're going to see some defense from the Lynx, from the Aces, Las Vegas, in this one. And I'm not sure what we got with Connecticut yet, but you said like Morrow might play. Hopefully she gets on the floor for Connecticut. They lost a lot, man. They did. Still got Marina Mabry throwing them up in there. But I'm going to probably, I need to look at the under. But I kind of lean with Solo there on the points with Connecticut as well.
All right. Yeah, man, I happen to agree with you there, Ron. Both games did go, all three games went under last year. I know we saw overs from both teams in game one with both teams giving up over 90 points. So they'll definitely have to reel that in here. Obviously, with Vegas as a double-digit favorite, and you look at this total, down to 166 here at this point. So I kind of like that under there. I'm with you guys. I'm Connecticut and under. So I'm going to go with both of you. I'm going to roll with 2 plays on the show here. I like it. Connecticut and under. All right, let's get a move on here now and take a look at the other game. These are both early starts here on Tuesday. We've got Atlanta on the road here taking on the Fever, and Indiana favored by 9.5. Total 170.5 here. Indiana, of course, got a win there in their opener over Chicago. They covered easy. We don't have to go through all the storylines of that one, but certainly was a strong performance from Clark and from Boston there, and they got the money easy in and under. And also for Atlanta, we just talked about the 94-90 loss, or 90 loss to Washington as an 8-point favorite over the Mystics there. So let's see what you guys have in this one.
The Dream, and the funny thing is I actually went to the game last week for the opener. I sat about 5-6 rows back. I got a good look at this one here. Like you said, I don't want to get too much in the Mystics, but the thing with the Mystics is they push the pace a lot faster. So they're taking the shots in like the first 10 to 12 seconds. So the Dream was actually able to kind of match that pace, but defensively they got in trouble because the size, the addition of Griner and Jones down low, big girls, kind of older. They couldn't really move their feet, and Washington continued to push that pace. That's why them points got up. But at the same time, they were able to kind of score some points. Indiana's going to push the rock. This crowd's going to be electric. They got a good coach. They got good depth. It's going to be tough to really beat Indiana. They're one of the better teams moving forward. Total's a little high. I think I'm going to ride with CC, Caitlin Clark, -9.
Okay, Ron, look, for Atlanta, you got Alicia Gray. She looked good out there. I thought Jones was fine as well. They were, in a battle for sure in that one. And for for the Fever here, I think not the expectations of blowing out Chicago or all the everything that came out of that game. I mean, they were expected to win after all. I think the downgrade is on the sky there in that game. Of course, everyone expects Indiana to really step it up this season, but it's almost a throwout game for me, Ron, that first one.
Yeah, I was all over Indiana. I think most people were on Saturday. Jenny Carter's gone she's gone to Mexico, I think, to play now for the Sky. That's a big loss, man. And they brought Vandersloot back, which really doesn't help at all for that Chicago side. But talking about this game now, looking at Indiana, I think if everybody's going to jump on them, I hate to disagree with my boy Solo here, but I'm going to have to look at Atlanta. Atlanta's a better team. Ryan Howard stays healthy. Like you said, Jones coming over there, and of course Brittany. I think that maybe 9's a little too many points, especially what we saw on Saturday. I think a lot of people are public just gonna drop it right on Caitlin and the girls there. We could get Sophie Cunningham, a girl from Missouri. She could be back in this one, and Jordan Canada is still questionable, I think, for Atlanta. So they might get her back on the court. I still think Atlanta is a top tier team, middle of the pack top tier, if you will, maybe 7, 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there. But definitely, man, this Fever team,
Okay.
and Stephanie's got them playing. She comes in, she takes over, she's loving the girls, and the girls love her, and you could see it. I know it was Chicago, but they dominated that team. I can't see them dominate Atlanta. Atlanta was actually 12-5 on the road at ATS last year. So I'm going to take the Dream plus a 9.
All right, I'll move to the total in there, and I'm not picking sides if you guys are on the same side. I'll go to the total here, and I'll look to the over. Indiana's game actually did go under because of the total. They held Chicago to just 58 points there, but both teams scored obviously pretty high in their first game. So I'm going to take the over here in this one. It is at 170.5. Boy, we are seeing some real surges there on the totals so far this season in the handful of games we've seen right out of the gate in the second half. It seems like the ones we're seeing some defense, or at least a lower score in the first half. The score still seems to get going. I think that's credit to the ladies and their offense. They're getting good starts in the second half. And of course, we are seeing they do play a little bit more into the end of the game, guys, than the men there. Certainly, it seems like they keep trying. Even down 10, 12, they're fouling a little bit. But I'll go over in this one at 170.5. All right. Solo, we got you. I think I've lost the connection with Ron, but to tell us what's going on this week in the WNBA and all your picks over at Tony'sPicks.com.
Well, like you say, the season just started, so we came out strong, but we're gonna slow down and fire. Make sure we got the board seen real well. Just wanted to get some quick data, get eyes on these teams. But throughout the week, we'll be coming, uploading picks, sides, totals, a little bit of everything. Got some props for you to give away on the live show. A little bit of everything. Be smart, don't parlay. Let's make some money. We get down.
All right, and I'll speak for Ron here. If I can't get him back, I'm going to tout him up for sure. I don't need to tell you, Solo, that Ron's been absolutely terrific so far this season. And he's a WNBA specialist here for sure, but he's been rolling in all the sports. He's topping a lot of our leaderboards here right now, especially up there during the season, full year units as well. Ron's doing absolutely terrific, so make sure you visit him over at Tony'sPicks.com and pick up his packages here for this week. He's got a WNBA package as well this season, so go ahead and consider that one with Ron.
Nice.
He'll be here with all season on the WNBA pick show, and we'll get Solo in here as well. And hey, I've got some picks up there, and I've been pretty hot as well over there, topping the 7-day and monthly leaderboards here over the last week or two. So you can trust me as well over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. All right, that's going to do it for Ron Crawford and for Solo Malone. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us on the WNBA Pick Show. Back tomorrow.